Hello everybody here on Twitch and YouTube. This is going to be Jund League number 32. I'm trying out this new card, Cleansing Wildfire. Pretty powerful card. 2-mana sorcery, destroy a land. That land's controller gets a basic and puts it into play, and then I get to draw a card. So it's going to be pretty good for obviously fighting the various big mana decks like Tron and Amulet. But it also could have some utility in being able to fetch for our own basics while we're under a Blood Moon if we're playing against something like Red-Green. Yeah, we're expecting the 5-0, right? Alright, so yeah, trying out the new card. Everything else pretty much the same though. This is still my no-nonsense list, just plus Cleansing Wildfire. I've made room for the Wildfires by cutting my 2 copies of Alpine Moon, and I also cut the 1 copy of Clothis, both from the board. Yeah, I'm expecting it to do well too, but we'll just have to test it and see how it goes. As is tradition, let's look at the current metagame. Uro is still stapled to the first place spot, as it has been for a long time, followed by the various Blitz, Luris, and Swift Spear decks. Gruul Midrange still stuck in 4th and 5th. Tron actually creeping all the way up to 5th, and Grixis Shadow also snuck all the way up to 6th. It wasn't even in the top 12 just a week ago. Jund was recently 5, but now is back down to 7. Ad Nauseam also sneaking up to finally hit top 8. Blue-White out of the top 8 for the first time in a long time. And then Humans creeping back up into the top 12. And then Mono Red Aggro, kind of just the third prowess deck that's also been in the top 12 for a while. Followed by another big mana deck, Amulet Titan. Alright, so let's just jump into this league.
Using the rotary blade.
Yeah, it is true that Damping Sphere is a non-Boeth Bloodbraid Elf, but it's I think powerful enough to be worth it in some places. All right, well we've got the Dream Curve, 1, 2, 3 plus a 4th land. The 4th land a little extra, but I don't think I can ever ship a hand like this. Yeah, I mean. The non-bow with Bloodbraid was one of the reasons I was initially playing the Alpine Moons. Looks like red-green. Oh, it's Search for Tomorrow. Alright, so it looks like it's a Titan deck. We won't have to be guessing for too long as we get to Inquisition. Hopefully we even hit something. Alright, we do. Alright, well, we've got a pretty good start for red-green. Like, Inquisition into Glyph into Liliana is probably one of the better ways we have to win pre-board. And immediately I already wish I had the Alpine Moons instead of the Damping Spheres. But we get to bring in our new sideboard tech and see how it does. Alright, Lightning Bolt, not exactly a great addition. Let's just get the Glyph down. It's already pretty big, too, which is nice. Alright, so this looks like an easy Liliana turn. I think I'm going to play the Liliana and plus first. Small chance the Glyph grows. In fact, if I discard my Scavenging Ooze, actually it won't grow because the opponent already has creature. It would grow if I discard my Renin 6. I can't play the Renin 6 next turn. My next turn is likely going to be Raging Ravine plus Scavenging Ooze. And then I might need to use the Bolt to win a race. So I think Renin 6 might actually be an okay discard. Get in the extra point here. Alright, there goes a Wooded Foothills. I mean, it's going about as well as it could be. I mean, we just died a Castle plus Titan. Alright, we even drew a Pulse. That's pretty good. So now if they Titan and get zombies, we can pulse the zombies and then Edict the Titan with Liliana, assuming they crack this Foothills. I don't know what I'm discarding now. I do think I want to get the Ooze down. Does it even change the clock? I mean, 2 hits and a Bolt is just lethal, so maybe the Ooze is better as a discard. It's like if I attack for 5... Actually, well, I mean, I attack for a lethal next turn, but they could be playing bolts and stuff. So I actually think it might be right to just go ahead and discard the Ooze. It gives them a target for their bolt. It's not likely to do very much. Alright, so either way, let's just lead on an attack for 5. And then I'll go Ravine plus Liliana, discard Ooze. I think this Pulse is too important, and I really want this Bolt to shave a turn off of the clock. I mean, also, Ooze shaves a turn off of the clock, but if they've got a removal spell, it doesn't. Alright, so we've got him dead next turn, even through a Titan if they don't gain life. Oh, that's nice. Yeah, Jund videos at the end of the day are pretty nice. Alright, so we do have lethal. They don't know that. Alright, I'll even plus first. Alright, well this just auto-resolved, so this is just going to give me extra information. And if I wanted to be technical, I should definitely upkeep this bolt. Did it. Alright, so versus the Titan deck, let's bring in the Ashioks. Let's bring in our new Cleansing Wildfires. I think Collector Brutality may have some utility. It's probably better on the play when we can snipe the 2-mana ramp. It's a little slow on the draw. I wish these were the Alpine Moons, but they're not. I think I might want the push over bolts. Bolts really don't kill anything. Neither does Renin 6. Ooze is going to be really, really slow. Kolaghan's Command's not really killing much. This is 60 as is. I think I do want to cut some number of the 1-mana stuff. And push might just be better than Bolt because it kills Dryad. But that's about it. Bolt can go to face, as we saw. Honestly, though, I don't think I want 4 pushes if the only good target is Dryad. I think just this might be fine. Damning Spirit stops Castle Garenberg, but that's about it. Yeah, I'll do this. Yeah. I remember that Bolt goes to face this time. Alright, well, we have our sideboard card, but we don't have red mana. If we had red mana, this would be quite good. They're keeping a 7. I mean, we've got Tarmogoyf Liliana again, but we're lacking the hand disruption. I think I'm going to ship. We're missing mana and good threats. Alright, this hand's different. Let's keep it. I'll bottom a Bloodbraid. I'm going to go turn 1 Inquisition, obviously, and then turn 2 Ren and 6, and start working towards the Bloodbraids. Alright, so I'm just going to... That's a good draw. I'm going to really, really hope they don't have Veil of Summer here. Ashiok is a pretty perfect draw. It's not a game ender, but it's definitely really strong. And it's something to do while we're on 3 mana, because we have a 2-drop, we have a 4-drop, but we needed something to do in the middle, and Ashiok's kind of perfect. Okay, they didn't have it. They just wanted to scare me, I guess. Fetch and response, get a green source. Sweet. All right, so we get their 1 accelerant, but their hand's powerful. And by powerful, I mean it's just lands in Titan. Alright, so this looks like Overgrown Tomb, Ren and 6. Oh, yeah. Yeah, man, sequencing is important. Alright, so I think next turn I'll just get basic Forest. And then get the Ashiok. We've already got double black. Oh no, did they draw Dryad? Dryad would be really good for them because then our Ashiok is not defended. Can you leave it over there for now? I'll get it afterwards. Oh, they drew the Dryad. Oh, it's just a search. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. We're going to need a way to kill the Titan. Titan gets to come down not next turn, but the following turn. Gwaif is fine, but I think Ashiok is probably just better at this stage. Let's get the Forest. We've already got the double black, so Forest is fine. And they've got a Field of the Dead in their hand already. It's possible I should just minus on them with the Ashiok. Maybe I hit some number of silver bullets. There's a consideration to not doing this so my Gwaif stays big. But we've got 2 Bloodbraids as clocks, so I don't think a clock is something I'm going to be lacking. We hit 2 Veils and 2 Titans. Okay. Respectable. Alright, so we're gonna need a way to kill a Titan. Alright, that doesn't hit the Titan. Alright, so this looks like easy mountain. I want to keep my life total kinda high. 13 might be the magic number if they just hit me twice with a Titan. Alright, and then in case I hit other Ashiok, I guess I should mill them now. I mean, it sucks if they draw a Lightning Bolt. Maybe I should Lightning Bolt next turn and Bloodbraid next turn. Keep the Ashiok on 4 for now. Let's just do this first. Start attacking. Alright, we get Inquisition anyway. No guarantee this hits anything. In fact, it doesn't. Got some lands. Alright, so they get to Titan us. They don't get to search. Alright, so the best hit is definitely Liliana of the Veil. Yeah, I think we're just gonna spin the wheel and see if we hit it. I mean, at a minimum, we get to double block the Titan to kill it. Come on, Lily. Cling. That's a redraw. Cleansing Wildfire. So I think I'm going to swamp Inquisition here. If they attack my Primeval Titan, if they attack my Ashiok with the Primeval Titan, I can go block. Ashiok will take 2, but that means it gets to stick around. So I'm just gonna make sure they didn't draw a Lightning Bolt here. Or they didn't. They drew Scape Shift. Alright, so again, gonna leave my Ashiok on 3 so I can double block and keep it alive. That's good. Wow, that was nutty. Alright, so now they get to search with Titan. They just kill us now, right? That was like their best draw. Yeah, they just kill us now. As they attack, they get Valakut and Mountain. Right? Very dead. Yeah, they were on double. They already had 2 redundant lands. So the only thing that enables this is exactly the Dryad. I'm on the play now, so I did mention that Brutality might be a thing, but I don't think it's enough of a thing. Just resubmit. This is a hand. Cleansing Fire redraws, that's a real thing. Yeah, definitely annoying, James. We get to try out our new card this hand, though. They even mulligans. Okay. Inquisition's good versus mulligans. Hopefully the second Inquisition is even live. We're missing a clock, but we've got lots of disruption. Alright. I really hope these hit something. Okay, they do. Alright, I'll take the Dryad next turn. Take the Veil now. Alright, that was the land they drew. Alright, so that's a pretty good one. I could even hold the Inquisition for next turn, but I'm just going to do it now. Use my mana. Alright, so I would love to draw a land. Cleansing Wildfire will give me a redraw at it. I wonder if I just don't fetch here. Just keep an extra land in my deck. My life total can't matter that much. I guess it does matter in that, like, I need to stay above 18 if I don't want a 7 landscape shift to kill me. But I mean, the odds another land does damage to me are so high anyway. Yeah, let's just untap, see if we draw a land. Did it. Alright, so there's only one card we don't know about. What are the odds it's Obstinate Baloth? Alright, so let's get Stomping Grounds and a basic swamp. Alright. Please no Obstinate Baloth. Alright, that just resolves. Alright, let's just discard a Wildfire. If they have a Dryad, I may want to push it. Like, I have the Liliana in play. I don't have Revolt, too. That's the thing. Yeah, I want to keep plussing those. I think I'm going to want to ultimate at some point. You didn't want to minus the Ashiok last game? Well, I mean, the only way the Ashiok would die last game is actually, it would have died no matter what, because if they get to bolt it, then their attack with the Titan kills Ashiok regardless. So I like minusing it there. Alright, Goyf is excellent. I think I'm just gonna discard the push at this point. And then I'll play my Goyf. Goyf a really good draw here. And they discarded a Titan. That's got to mean they have another one. I mean, we're still soft to a Titan. They've got Castle Garenberg in hand. And there it is. Alright, well, they played it now, so we can Cleansing Wildfire it to keep them off of the mana. Yeah, I was gonna say, like, there's an argument to plussing first, so they discard all that information. But I think I just want to get my whole hand played out. New cards. Alright, and then I'm definitely gonna plus first in case somehow they have a Obstinate Baloth. I'm gonna want it to defend the Ashiok, so defend the Liliana, so I can ultimate and Stone Rain them twice. Another Liliana. I think I just discard that Liliana. It's gonna grow the Goyf. Although, second Liliana is gonna be pretty nice to play after the first one ultimates next turn. Yeah, I'm gonna go for the second Liliana next turn. If they've drawn Veil of Summer to negate the ultimate, I'm gonna really want backup Liliana. Alright, this is going as well as it can. So if they play a land to try to work towards the 6 mana, they're not going to have a card in their hand after plussing the second Liliana. So that's nice. So their hand is kind of choked right now. Alright, so they were able to empty. Luckily, this is just going to be 3 Stone Rains. Grow the Goyf. Alright, let's make some piles. Split the win cons. Let's if they're gonna keep Valakut, we should give them a forest. Rick Rodrigo, thanks for the follow. Another Goyf. Then I'll attack first in case their card is a Baloth. It's a Baloth. Green sources versus Wincon's mountain. Yeah. I mean, yeah, I mean, if I get rid of all of their win cons and have them and let them keep good mana, they still have good mana. I'd rather just split it. Like, both of the win cons are so far away from being good that it hardly matters, right? All right. 1-0. All right, well, this is a pretty clear no-go. I'm going to keep this one. We're on the draw, and we've got 3 things we can do with the 1 land we have. I'll bottom a Pulse just because it's the most expensive thing. There's a chance this Terminate isn't good, but it costs 2 as opposed to 3. All right, so lands, please. Nope. Alright, so it's blue-white Stoneblade. It's going to be either Snapcaster or Teferi here. Snapcaster's not going to be good for a while. Let's take the Teferi. Alright, so if we can hit another land here, I feel okay about where we're at. It's always Raging Ravine when you need the second land. Come on, land. Nope. But now we're just going to fall behind all the counters. Unfortunate. If they want to counter a lightning bolt on their shark, that's fine with me. I'll let him untap. And then I'll bolt this end step. If they play something like a Stone Forge, I'm going to want to bolt that. Alright, now I'll just use my mana. They missed a land too. Alright, we hit it. Alright, so now we have to deal with an Archmage's Charm. Kind of like, what do we want to play into it? I don't think they're going to use the Path to Exile yet, because that helps get us our lands. Let's lead on Goyf. I think Goyf is probably actually less valuable long run. Like, no matter what I play, it's not gonna win the game on its own. So I think I'm gonna play the less valuable thing. Ooze has a good amount of value because the opponent has a Snapcaster in their hand. The Forge. So Batterskull is going to be a headache. Alright, less of a headache with that. So I have to figure out how I want to deal with this now. Terminate's the most mana efficient way. And I guess I have the option of just attacking first. This may evoke a Path to Exile. Not yet. Alright, well, if I don't kill this now, I open myself up to a whole slew of other problems, like Cryptic Command and more Archmage's Charms. I'll just go on the go for the Terminate now. I think Bolt also is better than Terminate in general versus this deck, because Bolt can finish off Planeswalkers. Archmage's Charm on top, yep. Alright, they didn't play Batterskull there, but it's not really a surprise. They've got Snapcaster available. Just doing this now. Let's get Forest because we've got Ooze. And then we still can't actually eat anything with Ooze yet, so I think I'm just going to play second Goyf. Not really expecting it to be long for this world. They've got Snap Path available to them. Yeah, just missing those lands early was really backbreaking. Wow, they're just not even concerned with the Tarmogoyf. Brutal. Alright, so I guess here is Snap Path. Does this do anything good for us? I mean, we're going to need the Kolaghan's Command to deal with the Snapcaster. We know the opponent has Archmage's Charm, so they have Charm and Snapcaster Path available to them. Should probably just lead on an attack. Like if I play Ooze here, they just snap in response, or they just Charm it. Now I'll get Swamp. Verdant Catacomb is pretty likely to get Stomping Ground, just so I have second red and more green for Ooze. So kind of whatever I do here is definitely getting Archmage Charmed. But I do want to force the issue, and I think Ooze is going to be pretty important. So maybe I should just run the Liliana into it. Yeah, that's unfortunate, but whatever I do here is just gonna die. I mean, I could play Scavenging Ooze, and then if it somehow resolves, I can then play land, and then I'll have Bolt and the activation available. I think Ooze might just be too important. I'll run the Liliana into the Charm. All right, so we knew about that. Land and go. And if they want to counter a Lightning Bolt, I'm happy with that, so I'll let them make that mistake if they want. Yeah, when they attack, I'll just Lightning Bolt this Snapcaster. I already mentioned I'm getting Stomping Ground, so let's just do it now. Like if they just tap out, or mostly tap out for Batterskull, I can Kolaghan's Command it. They're not, though. Red and 6 is a powerful one. That actually might be enough to draw out a counter and then help sneak through the Ooze. Alright, so another hand is Batterskull something. Ouch. Alright, well if the card they just drew and the new card are relatively dead, we may be able to get back into it with this Kolagon's command. Misty is gonna make it hard because it could that could represent another Mystic Sanctuary. And I do want to get back a creature and play it now, but now they have 3 mana available to keep the ooze. Alright, that was a good draw. I mean, they're still likely to be able to get the Cryptic back. Like, they're going to get to end of turn, bounce Battle Skull to their hand, and then just replay it. But at least then I have a Liliana in play. This keeps it off my back for a turn. So if they have 3rd Mystic Sanctuary, they can get a Cryptic in their hands. Just pass priority. I'm not really worried about bluffing anything. Sure. So if Inquisition, I can't play a 2-drop after I return a creature. Kind of rough. I mean, also ensuring it resolves is also pretty good. Yeah, I'll just do this. Please no Mystic Sanctuary. Alright, so it looks like they only have 2. Alright, well, at least we get to kill the Batter Skull now. Jeez, and a Jace. Alright, so no matter what we do, we're kind of just dead here. We have to kill the Brazen Borrower too. You know, we could just have the opponent discard. This Brazen Borrower is going to be much easier to deal with than anything else in their deck. I mean, they've also got Colonnade though. Can't beat this Jace, so I'll have the opponent discard and then I'll probably just kill the Batter Skull. Maybe I should just kill the Brazen Borrower. It makes them use a lot of their mana actually redeploying the Batter Skull. I mean, they can just do it in 1 turn though, but it leaves us open to having better draws. Yeah, so I'll kill this and have them discard the Jace. It's a tough one. They must have drawn a counter. That's a good one too. This match might go really long. I'll just save the time. I don't think I can beat the Batter Skull on the Snapcaster. Yeah, missing that land was really rough. Alright, so Ashiok looks good. Nile Spellbomb looks good. Bitter Blossom is absurd in this matchup. Don't know if this is a Cleansing Wildfire matchup. They are playing Colonnade, but it's probably not like a full set or anything. Yeah, I don't think this is a Cleansing Wildfire matchup, especially with all this other stuff I want to bring in. So I need to cut 4 now. I could see taking out another Inquisition, but those tends to be pretty good to take Stone Forges. But I mean, if they draw Stone Forges anything past turn 2, they're just slamming them. I like Brutality over Inquisition because Brutality can take things like Cryptic, and it doesn't miss on things that Inquisition already doesn't miss on, like Shark Typhoon and Jace. I'm going to trim 2 Tarmogoyfs, because this is likely to be a resource battle, and Goyf is just a clock. And I could see boarding out just like another Cling. They've got Snapcaster to worry about. I mean, I brought an Ashiok, which is another way to deal with those. Also Spellbomb. Yeah, let's run this. Let's see if we can hit our second land. Wow. This is the nuts. So I usually don't like getting basics versus this opponent, but we've got Bitter Blossom, and I'm going to want to have that have time to do its work. So I'm thinking I'm going to get Blood Crypt, Forest, and a Swamp. Basic Swamp, that is. So I guess if that's the case, I should just get Basic Swamp now. Maybe my mana improves. Like if I draw Blackleaf Cliffs, I don't need to shock a Blood Crypt anymore. Yeah, I'll just get Basic Swamp and cast Inquisition. And then I'm going to take whatever would counter this Bitter Blossom, assuming they don't have multiples. Alright, Mana Leak doesn't counter it because we get to sneak it in under. I'll just take Teferi. Alright, so I think the plan is still Blood Crypt for a... Sorry, fetch for a Blood Crypt and have Basic Forest. So I guess I should just fetch Basic Forest first, because again, I could draw Blackleaf Cliffs and eliminate the necessity to fetch Blood Crypt. And again, I usually dislike fetching basics versus the Path to Exile deck, but I want this Bitter Blossom to have a lot of time to do its thing. Please no force. Sick. Alright, so now Mana Leak is a thing. We've got double Liliana, though. It's possible that I should just play the Spell Bomb and the Mire and say go. I think I will. I don't want the opponent to be able to use their mana. Like, they could leak this, but that's kind of okay. Yeah, I'll just pass now. Like, I've got the Bitter Blossom. Onus is on them. Because, like, now if they want to play a Teferi or something, that gives me a good window to, gives me a good window to resolve a Liliana. Not going to pop Spellbomb here. I've got stuff to do with my mana. And they've got an Opt in the yard. They could get value off of a Snapcaster if I pop it prematurely. Alright, well, second Spellbomb makes that a little easier. Lead on attack for 1. Do I let them Mana Leak now? I'll just play other Spellbomb. I'm in no rush. I've got the Bitter Blossom. Wow, and they're missing a land. So now I could pop Spellbomb. If they have Snapcaster, they'll still just flash it in. I've got second Spellbomb to deal with it. I think I'll take the risk. Like, if I have to use both Spellbombs to prevent a Snapcaster from getting an Opt, it's unfortunate, but I think I'm okay with it. Alright, and it just works, which is obviously excellent. Take another thing. And now I've got a bunch of instants in hand. I can just pass it and keep those up. Yeah, I'm not going to play into their counters that I know they have. mean, I could just be jamming, but like I've got stuff to do with my mana even on their turn. If they want to try to counter a Fatal Push, I'll let them try to counter a Fatal Push. I'll keep the Fatal Push for Stone Forges. I'm fine trading. Sure. Bitter Blossom doing the thing. See no reason to do anything. Yeah, man, these Bitter Blossoms have been so good. They've been so absurdly strong. Like I think I've brought them in like twice every league just about, and every time I've seen it when I've brought it in, it's just like pretty much won me the game on its own. Alright, they hit a land. I mean, their counters are down now. So I think what I'm going to do now is I definitely want to kill this shark. It's like, how do I want to do it, though? I guess I could just Liliana and minus on it. Seems fine. Their hand is so big. That, like, plussing doesn't seem like it's going to do a whole lot. Like, they could force me, but that's kind of fine. Sure, and they pitched a Jace. Alright, so let's just get this thing out of the way. Keep on attacking. Yeah, I like how Bitter Blossom kind of flips the game, and that, like, I'm kind of the control deck now. I mean, obviously the opponent like had a mana issue, but I mean, I've been able to not just jam my stuff into their counters because I've got the pressure on board, and I guess like their only good way to deal with it is like Celestial Purge or bouncing it with a Teferi. Just lead here. I don't think they're quite in the realm of tap draw yet. Mana leak that. Sure. I don't think I'm going to shock. I want the life to work well with my Bitter Blossom. Attack for 4. And interesting that they tapped their Field of Ruin instead of using Field of Ruin. And then... Instead of using Field of Ruin and then popping. And then popping with the leak, I mean. Alright, so Bitter Blossom wins on its own. Sweet. Game 3. So on the draw, it's possible Inquisition is slightly more important for taking the Stone Forges on the draw. What's up, Trip 6? We're winning games with Bitter Blossom. That's what's good. Oh, also Cleansing Wildfire is a new toy. I think I'm just gonna keep it as is, but I could be convinced of Inquisition. I mean, it's possible Inquisition is better than Fatal Pushes. I want some number of answers to the Stone Forges, but I mean, I've got the bolts, I've got the other Fatal Push. Brutality kills it as well, as does Liliana. What Scourge thing? There are a lot of new names floating around, so I get them confused. It sounds fine. Yeah, I got Wildfire from Mana Traders, James. Like, when I went to rent it, there was a little asterisk near it, But I'm assuming the asterisk was denoting that you need premium to get it, but I've got premium. Oh, Scourge of the Skyclaves. I have not tried it yet. It's definitely interesting though. The opponent mulligan, by the way. I'm honestly, at first glance, not a fan of new Nissa. Reason being is like when I try to evaluate a planeswalker, I look at, does it defend itself, does it generate card advantage, or does it kill something? And it doesn't do any of those things without minusing. Like you need to minus to reanimate a creature. All right, so I am gonna bolt here because I want to untap and play a threat. So I'll get Stomping Ground. I'm gonna want more green for if I hit an ooze, and then Stomping Ground casts my bolt just fine. Tracker, excellent. All right, Blackleaf Cliffs into threat. If they have Teferi, it's going to be unfortunate. But, I mean, if they tab out for a Teferi, that means we get to stick Ashiok. They didn't have it. And there's the ooze that we were aiming to draw. Alright, so they could have Force of Negation. They can't have Archmage's Charm. In the event they have Force of Negation, that does not add a type. So I'll just lead on an attack. And then I'll shock a Blood Crypt. And then go for an Ashiok. Mana Leak could be the play as well. Let's just go for the Ashiok. The upside of resolving it seems very high. And most of their good counters are down right now. Okay, yeah. That's going to happen. Oof. There's the Teferi. Boing. Yep. Alright, so I get the tracker now and start getting that going. Fetch Land would be nice. How about that, though? Alright, now we can just double spell. So the question is, what 2 spells? I think I'm just going to play 2 threats and save Brutality for a later turn. This means we're not guaranteeing landfall of the tracker, but I think that's fine. And then if they have Spell Snare somehow, I'm gonna want to lead on the non-Bitter Blossom threat. Glyph is the one they know about. But I mean, Scavenging Ooze could be better to have in play because of Snapcaster. So let's just lead on the Ooze. Alright, and then this one can get forced, but they don't have it. Excellent. Alright, Bitter Blossom, do the thing. They can go land Batterskull here. Goyf outsizes it. Stoneforge. Okay. Second equipment might be sticky. Yeah, that's a good one. Alright, and then Foothills is a land we get to play post-tracker, which is nice. Alright, so I'm going to probably want to fetch Basic Mountain to keep my life total high. So I should leave a Black Source untapped. This puts down Ooze for a turn, but they can't snap this leak anyway. Alright, I'm going to try to kill this Teferi. Alright, please no counter. If they have a counter, we could be in the doghouse. Uh-oh, so this is the Archmage's Charm? It's not Archmage's Charm. Veto. Yeah. Alright, well, we get to kill the Teferi. Assuming they don't want to block. I'm assuming they don't. Alright, this sword's going to hit hard for a turn. We've got the ooze to gain a couple. Actually, 0 right now. 1 right now, sorry. So they're just going to flash in a Batterskull. We need like Kolagon's Command or something. Something to answer the equipment. We've got the clues to dig for it. Renin 6 gets back land. Land means I get more clues. So, okay, so sequencing might be important here. So if I run in 6, get back land, play land, that'll be 4 mana. If I sack a clue, I'll have 2 mana to do something with. If I sack a clue first, that might change how I want to use my mana, because like maybe I hit the Liliana or something. Yeah, I guess we should sack a clue first. Alright, equipments are going to be rough. Ravine. I think I want to get this Goyf down. I mean, there's only one card we don't know about. Alright, I think I'm just going to run in 6. Oh, I tapped poorly, huh? It was like if I want to get basic swamp, I can't play Goyf. Can't attack with the tracker yet. I think I just have to play Goyf and attack. Play my Ravine. I mean, Ravine's a good attacker too. It's not bad getting that down. Alright, let's attack for 1 in the air. I mean, the opponent's got to be careful that we don't just kill him on the crackback. Alright. We've got quite a force. So I guess here comes Batterskull. They can then play sword, equip sword onto the Batterskull. Or the germ, rather. Alright, Field of Ruin fights the Ravine. So we're getting hit for half our life total. We're going to need something good this turn. Gonna need Pulse or Kolagon's Command. And for them not to have a counter for it. I mean, I guess this turn is just starting with cracking a clue. If I draw another bolt, that's a way to deal with the germ. I mean, the issue there is they get to re-equip onto the Stoneforge. And I guess we're sacking a clue. Now I can tap Forest pretty freely. Yeah. Bloodbraid. That could be it. Unfortunately, we have one more look at it. Alright, so let's just Bloodbraid and cross the fingers. It's got to be Kolagon's Command or Maelstrom Pulse to deal with the sword. Cling, that won't do it. Thoughtseize is also too late. Yep, double equipment on a germ will beat us. We don't have a way to block it. Everything we have is either black or green. Bummer. Oh, I actually have to update Stream Decker. Now the new cards are in it. Oop, switched back. There we go. Everything's popping up on the wrong window. Would Cling gain me 3? I don't actually think so, just because my own Bitter Blossom is doing me 1 a turn. So I would still have exactly, because I'd be at 5, I'd go to 8, they hit me down to 6, I lose 1 on my upkeep, and then I don't get another turn as I go to 0. I'd have to like escape the Cling in my upkeep to hit another creature. Alright, Stream Decker should be updated now. The opponent kept a 1-lander. Alright, we're drawing pretty poorly, unfortunately. Screw usually beats Flood. Alright, Inquisition's at least something we can do, so let's lead on that. Obviously nothing to pulse quite yet. I'm assuming it's Jund. Yeah, running 6 on a 1-lander makes some sense. Let's just take that for sure. Land go. Yeah, because like if they hit a second land, their hand just was absolutely nuts. Kind of risky though. They were on the play as well. Now we're gonna get to Bloodbraid while we're way ahead. Thoughtseize is nice too. They can't even bolt the Bloodbraid, so let's start jamming. Liliana, running 6. Running 6. Cool. Alright, so I'm going to try the command again, see if it's updated. We win! Come on, please be updated. It is! Alright, cool. Spell Bomb is good. So is Fatal Push. Bitter Blossom, also quite excellent in the mirror. And then the things that are slam dunk takeouts are just all of the hand disruption. Yeah, the yeah, Nora, but the definitely a punish. I mean, they had the red and 6, right? So if they spike the lands, it's a very good hand. The issue though is that they're on the play, so it's really unlikely. I mean, I guess they're thinking there are as far as untapped lands go, they're probably about 20 hits, 21 hits. I mean, it has to be a red land too, right? So I guess swamp and basic forests don't do it as well. Alright, so I need to bring one card in. I don't mind like one Ashiok, but it's also possible Brutality is fine. I know some people like to bring in Brutality. Doesn't kill a whole lot, but I mean, clearing the way for a creature could be good. I also like Ashiok though. Like the opponent's playing any number of Kroxa. Yeah, I think I'm gonna play one Ashiok over Brutality. I just changed my sideboard up to fit in the Cleansing Wildfires. Usually my 6th card would be Kroxa. Not Kroxa. Clothis really easily. Or I'm assuming that's how you say it. It's gonna be Clothes. Usually I just bring that in and it's a pretty easy 6 in 6 out. But I made room and my sideboard changed. So if the opponent has red and 6, we've got the Cling to Dusts to start spiking the lands out of the yard. But they're going to get at least one land's worth of value off of it. Sure. Wasn't expecting that. I've got Swamp already. I'm going to want to Ravine, though, on my next turn. I'll just get the Swamp so I can hold up a Cling and a Spellbomb activation. Like, I already know I have the Swamp, but that's fine. I've got a red source. Oof, and there's a red and 6. That's excellent. Well, we're punished for getting Swamp. If we got Mountain, we could just red and 6 buy back immediately. It is what it is. Ravine go. I think the issue with keeping the hand disruption for the red and 6 is that it's only good on the first couple turns. But I mean, that seems to be the pattern with hand disruption in the mirror in general, is that if you have it in the first like 2 or 3 turns, it's usually pretty fine. But anytime you go to the top deck war, which happens a lot, and you draw a hand disruption spell, it feels like the worst thing that's ever happened to you. Alright, well now I'm just going to pitch the Swamp. I've got red and 6 to start buying back lands. Don't think I want to pop Spellbomb yet. I'm going to want to save it for getting some amount of value. I could just cycle one of these Clings now. See if I can find some spells. Yeah. The way the opponent's lands are set up, well, that's a good one. It's likely that they're going to want to be getting a basic forest over basic swamp, so that makes their Wood of Foothills better. The better fetch to eat there. Alright, so I'm going to Overgrown Tomb, say yes, play a red and 6, get back, probably just basic swamp, it's a guaranteed untapped land. And then hold up a Spellbomb / Cling. And then next turn, if nothing has been added, hopefully I can pressure the Liliana with the Bloodbraid. Inquisition, yep. I guess there goes Ashiok. Not a huge loss. And then interesting, they tapped Overgrown Tomb for the Inquisition. That means they've got to have another land if they've got a green spell. That or they're just being sloppy. I doubt they're just being sloppy. I don't think there's anything that would require black-red or like double red. It would have to be exactly double red. Like maybe they have like Land Season Pyromancer. If they had something that costs black-red like Kroxa, they could just leave it Overgrown Tomb untapped. Alright, so probably Forest Seasoned Pyromancer, as was the read before. Is this a new forest? Yeah, that's a cool one. Alright, we will each discard a card. I will discard the swamp that you have known about for a long time. I'm psychotic. I mean psychic. Alright, so we do not have Revolt. Reason I think that is I can use the red and 6 to ping off the Elemental. And then attack the Liliana with the Bloodbraid. But I don't have Revolt. What am I talking about? I would need a removal spell anyway. I mean, if we ping this and then the Bloodbraid hits removal, that's really good for us. I could just pop Spell Bomb now. Or I could just cycle now. I think I'll just untap. Yeah, let's just untap. Ooh, Bolt is good. Still think I want to just cast a Bloodbraid. Maybe I should ping first in case I hit other Ren and 6. That one can go higher. I don't know. And then if the opponent pluses again, I don't have a land to discard, but that's okay. I'll just pitch a Cling. And I don't know how many Cleansing Wildfires the opponent could be playing, so I should probably just not get a basic here. I've already got lots of black. I've only got one red. Maybe it's a Stomping Ground. It's between Overgrown Tomb and Stomping Ground. It's do I want triple green or do I want triple black? I mean, I've got Spell Bomb and Cling in my hand, so if I want to cast, if I draw another black spell that I want to cast, I'll need it to be black. So maybe it's just Overgrown Tomb. Although I really want to be able to activate Ravine off of second red. Yeah, let's just do Stomping Ground. Stomping Ground Bloodbraid. So the nuts here would be Liliana. Any removal or threat also nice. And we've got Revolt now. There's the Lily. Excellent. So now we get to hit their Liliana for 3. If they want to Edict our Bloodbraid away, that has them losing the Liliana. I could pop Spell Bomb and not get the card to just make sure their Seasoned Pyromancer can't get exiled, but that's if they're going to use their entire turn doing that, like, I'm okay with that. Liliana down. Goyf's a good hit. Which walker do you want to kill? So now I can Cling to Dust the Seasoned Pyromancer. I mean, they didn't have the land for it, though. I'm also kind of inclined to cling something else to draw the card. And I've also got Nile Spellbomb. So I think I should probably just lead on sacking the Spellbomb. I'm getting some value out of it now, and also I draw the card for 1 mana as opposed to like having to escape a Cling to Dust after eating Pyromancer, because remember, eating creature doesn't draw a card. It's a good one. Load up an Edict again. I'll discard a Cling. And I do plan on Blood Braiding here. Let's just keep my life total high now. Fatal Push with Revolt. And then I do think I should probably hold back my Blood Braid to try and defend Liliana. Don't think it'll work. Oh, and also, fun thing to note, this Fatal Push is definitely the one that I sideboarded in because the art is different. So it was good here in terms of having a 4th push to bring in. I mean, a Goyf in the Mirror is quite large. It's not a multi for 1. But it is a must kill. So the opponent is hellbent now. So unfortunately, I don't have a way to defend the Liliana. Technically not true. I could try to activate the Raging Ravine and block. And then I could even try to bolt the Tarmogoyf after it blocks. Because there's no guarantee I even get an Edict. So I think I'm going to plus discard Renin 6. If I plus discard Renin 6 and then go with the Raging Ravine plan and they have removal, I kind of just die. Because they keep their Goyf alive and my Liliana dies anyway. But I mean, if I play Renin 6... If I just play Renin 6 and plus to get something back, they get to choose which Planeswalker to kill. The upside of the Tarmogoyf dying and then keeping a Liliana on 2 seems high. Which part of it seems loose? So I mean, I'll talk through the options again real fast. So if I go Renin 6 plus buy back something, I'll have a bolt. I can bolt their Renin 6, leave them with the Goyf. Yeah, but then I need to like top deck an answer to the Goyf. I mean, I guess they do have to attack the Liliana. Gives me a turn to buy some stuff back with Cling. Yeah, I'm not opposed. Yeah. I don't really want to lose on the spot if they draw removal. So I'll lean towards this play. Like, if we have a Nurturing Peatland in the yard, I think this play isn't even close. We just buy back Peatland. But we don't have a Peatland in the yard. Yeah, I definitely have to uptick Liliana. Because that kind of forces the attack on it. Otherwise, their Goyf would just die. So we're gonna get another turns worth of value off of the run in 6. Unfortunately, lands don't really mean a whole lot right now. If the opponent hit a land here, then we're in a good spot. Unfortunately, it's a Plague Engineer. Okay. Naming their glyphs. So my glyphs will be smaller than their glyphs. So the opponent has Planeswalker, creature, instant in their yard. Relevant because I can exile stuff with Cling. So if I Cling now and I draw a 2-drop, I'll be able to play it. So I guess we can Cling, remove... Can't remove a creature, else we won't draw the card. So it's either Bolt or Wrenn and 6. I'll remove the Wrenn and 6 because I can then exile all of my Planeswalkers. Make their glyph smaller. So, exile 5. Planeswalker, Planeswalker. I can get rid of Artifact. I need lands to get back with the Ashiok. Sorry, with the Wrenn and 6. So let's get rid of... I guess Bolt would be the next thing because I can, in theory, take out instants pretty soon. And then I don't need second Cling. Let's do that. So this will shrink glyph a pretty significant amount. Fortunately, it's just another land. Leaving my Wrenn and 6 live is weird. I guess not so weird if they draw a Wrenn and 6. Liliana's not bad. I get to kill their Wrenn and 6 with a Raging Ravine. And then I guess I get to Liliana as well. And then I'll minus first. So they choose without information that I'm attacking with Ravine. I don't think this will necessarily affect their decision, but you never know. So I can attack them, put them to 12. Their Wrenn and 6 not really actually doing a whole lot, but I think it's just safer to get it off the board. This also means that my Liliana is going to get to stick around if they don't attack it. I need you to draw a land, opponent. Uh-oh. More Cleansing Wildfire. And your own Ravine? Jeez, that was nuts. And we drew nothing. Alright, well, let's escape this thing again. Get rid of our Planeswalkers to shrink the glyph again. How do you check your sideboard? If you right click, the bottom option should be view sideboard. No problem. So I may end up playing this other fetch land even though it doesn't get another basic. Just because it'll put a card in the yard to recast this Cling. Assuming this Cling doesn't draw something good. So we've got 2 Bloodbraids out of our deck already. But would love to draw another. How about a land? We've got a few lands here. Just a few. At least one. Ravine, yep. So we're getting hit for 8. This doesn't get basic anymore. If I shock this in, I could try to hit a Fatal Push or a Lightning Bolt. If I shock, I go to 9. I don't die to a hit, but it's pretty close. Yeah, let's try to spike it. This also just like makes Goyf really small, right? So they've got sorcery, creature, instant. So we can take out sorcery to make Goyf a 2/3. We drew the push? Alright, well let's get the Goyf. This play bites us if we draw exactly Liliana, but Raging Ravine, they at least have to use all of their mana to play. We drew more lands, basically. Alright, now we are just dead. We get hit for 5. I guess that would have been the reason to kill the Ravine. But yeah, we just drew way too many lands. But yeah. So yeah, I mean, yeah, killing the Ravine would have given us an extra draw step, assuming they don't draw anything else. What would it have been? Push. Okie dokie. So the opponent brought in Cleansing Wildfire. I mean, I guess it does just redraw. I think I like this configuration though. I'm just gonna resubmit.
Some changing the blade and this wonky washer came out.
Yeah, I mean, we don't have a land to buy back with Ren and 6. But I mean, it's hard to mulligan a hand with Ren and 6 with Bloodbraid. Have you even got a removal spell? Bolt's a nice pickup. No value with this yet. I mean, if we play Liliana, we can get value off of it that way too. So we can discard a land, buy it back. Goyphopotamus. Well, that Goyf can actually get bolted, and there's the Liliana. Wow. So I think we're just gonna Liliana now. Just get that advantage in play. I mean, the issue is that they'll get to Red and 6 to kill the Liliana if they choose. But I mean, it's still so appetizing to just get this Liliana into play. And then next turn, assuming Liliana lives, we can plus the Liliana, discard the tomb, use the Ren and 6 to buy it back, and then cast Bloodbraid in the mirror on the play on turn 4. Unfortunate. So they got Goyf back. Not a great draw. That's fine though. I mean, I guess I'm just going to Mountain into Bloodbraid. In the event that the opponent makes us discard a card, we're gonna really want to have this Overgrown Tomb because it's the second green source to Ravine. So maybe it's worth it to just shock it in now. We're kind of on empty in terms of proactivity after this Bloodbraid, so I'd really love it if this hit something like a Goyf. Spellbomb could have been worse. Could have been a Fatal Push. And I think I will attack. We run the risk of having a Red and 6 get hit by a Bloodbraid. But if they don't like hit a bolt off of their Bloodbraid, we get to keep the Ren and 6 like just all together. Shock, they've got it. Or not. Oh, they're just playing Goyf again. Okay. Goyf and Goyf. Alright, well we actually get to kill both of these. Both doesn't outright kill it, but a minus on the Ren and 6 to do the last point does. Alternatively, I could just double bolt a Goyf. And then plus Ren and 6 up to 7 to threaten ultimate. I think that's a little ambitious. Yeah, there's just so much that prevents Ren from ultimating. I think I should just save a bolt. And I could even pop Spellbomb now. If I draw a 2-drop, I'll be able to play it, but only if it's a green 2-drop. Green or red. I don't have black mana anymore. I think I'll just pass. Close one, though. Liliana. Yep. And so if they plus it, I have to sack a creature. Yep. No threat. So I mean, I guess their hand has to be removal. And if it's removal, this Ravine isn't going to be able to hit the Liliana very effectively. Goyf of my own. Alright, so I think I'm just going to use the Ren and 6 to ping the Liliana. Ooze also good. Ping. So doing it this way means I don't get to activate Scavenging Ooze the turn it comes down. But having 2 threats insulates versus further Lilianas. Also, there's nothing meaningful in the yard that they could try to interact with yet. What's up, Ian? How's it going? We're playing the Jundmir, game 3. Seasoned peasy. Land. Alright, well that makes some sense. More land. I think I'm just gonna bolt this end step. Then I can untap, eat it with ooze. Whew, Bitter Blossom to boot. Alright, that'll do it. If we don't draw Bitter Blossom there, I think I'm just attacking with Ravine. Puts a lot of pressure on the opponent. But if they have removal, which the read was they probably do, I'm gonna want to have something to deploy afterwards. I don't want to just like sink my mana into a turn where I don't kill them.
Bless me.
Ian says bless you as well. She says thank you. You scared the crap out of me for what it's worth.
Now God knows this isn't the right material for a face mask, but we're gonna play with it. Doesn't it matter if we put those filters in it?
No, not really.
Like the material doesn't matter as long as the
As long as you have a filter, it doesn't matter what material it is. Alright, so the opponent is playing a creature deck. I don't think we can lose. They're playing a combo deck. Oh, hey, a creature deck. I'll just take the Vial. I mean, typically I view Vial as a card that I don't actually have to kill. With like a removal spell. We've got a lot of removal spells. But while I've got this Embarrassment of Riches, or they just do it anyway. I was gonna say, while I have this Embarrassment of Riches, I'd rather just take out the possibility of some flash types of shenanigans. 2-mana creature there, though, was a really good draw. Alright, that's a new pickup. And then I'm gonna make sure to use one of each here, because of the Meddling Mage, whatever they name, I'm gonna want to use the other. I'm gonna want to be able to use the other card for it. All right, so let's go Pew Pew, red, black, jam for 2. So we can get reflected here, which would be really annoying. But it is what it is.
I thought of an emo. Jam it. It's a good idea, huh?
Fetch is a nice one. Fetch means I can get basic mountain, play Renin 6 off of the peatland, then hold up my removal spells. What do you name? The name Scavenging Ooze. Okay, that makes some sense. It's like they know I've got it. see if they try to kill their Ren. They can't flash in anything that would buff, except for, I guess, General Kudro. So if they've got General Kudro, I can't bolt this. So I guess I'm Fatal Pushing. I don't have Revolt, so Fatal Push would be on Meddling Mage. Right, so now I get to replay the Ooze. And I'll do it off of a Forest. Puts a land in the yard for my Ren and 6 to buy back. I could bolt this main phase. If they've got General Kudro, I can then use the Ren and 6 to finish it off. Alright. Let's try to ride this Ooze, I guess. I'm on turn 5. Why do I not have 5 lands in play? A little confused. Did I not play land one turn? No Violin at 3 is nice. Another cycling land, yeah. Alright, well, an X1 gets to die to a Ren and 6. I think I will pay a life to lose a life. There's not really going to be a shortage of Scavenging Ooze food. I want to prioritize the size of this thing. Terminate, nice pickup. I think I just shock in, get the extra green. Guess I can start eating stuff now. So Wood of Foothills would have to pay life to get a land into play. Both the Bloodstained Mire, both the Mountain and the Forest are here, so a shock is like relatively free, unless I want more black mana. Yeah, I'll just do this. So I can fetch shock, go back up to 12. Yeah, let's just do this. Pay a life, lose a life. Hit for a little extra. And then I'll leave up the last activation. If I eat one more thing, I do get to kill them in 2 attacks. I think I unplugged my computer. I did. There we go. Alright, well that is an X1. I've got a Ren and 6 in play. Kudro? Kudro would be fine. I've got Terminate. Mantis Rider. Alright, well I can just terminate that. And then killing this obviously lets me have my Ren and 6 stay alive, which means I get to kill the Thalia for free. Kind of an embarrassment of riches here. Alright, humans. Collector Brutality kills a thing. And then Fatal Push is another removal spell. And then they're an aggro deck. Let's take out some Thought Seizes. Tireless Tracker seems to be a bit slow on the play. I think it may be worth it. Maybe we just take out an Inquisition. They're pretty bad top decks when we need to be drawing creatures or removal spells. Actually, scratch that. Clinging Dust has like almost no utility, right? Just bring back in the tracker. Seems better than the clings.
Oh, Marty.
Don't think I can keep this. If we can guarantee a Blackleaf Cliffs on top, it's fine. But we can't. This is better. Kolagon's Command. Kolagon's Command can blow up a Vial. Whereas Liliana only kill one thing, but it'll kill the biggest thing. It's close. I think I'll just bottom the K command. Liliana potentially killing 2 creatures seems like it has a lot of upside. Champion. Yep. Alright, Bolt, nice draw. So now the question is, do I Inquisition here? I think I am going to use the turn to either Fatal Push or Lightning Bolt this champion. And then on the next turn I can Inquisition plus second removal spell. I really want to keep the board empty so I can play the Liliana onto a 0 or 1 creature board. I mean, it's also possible they have like a few sideboard cards. Like I know there's a creature that has like protection from black and red, and that would be an important thing to take. So assuming this is a sideboard game, which it is, I think it's better to be a little proactive here. They don't have it. Their hand's not that great. It's 2 lieutenants. Alright, so I mean they have 2 lands that cycle, so that's nothing to sneeze at. Alright, so we're gonna get to go removal into removal, and then again, hopefully Liliana hits an empty board. Or a 1 creature board. Need another land for that to even be a thing. I mean, push is just a fine draw in general. I do think I want to use probably the pushes before the bolts. Oh, I gotta respond to that. Doesn't really matter what order I do it in now because I have to, I'm going to be using all of my 1 mana stuff anyway. I can't Liliana and Unsettled Mariner. It triggers when I target them too. I still have the hope of Liliana-ing onto an empty board. Land would have been good there because I could Brutality. Brutality doesn't kill everything, but Fatal Push kills just about everything. That's fine. Alright, well at a minimum I get the Brutality to kill the champion. Untapped land. I would really like a painless green source, but not exactly a possibility. I would have to go to 9 here. Yeah. At that rate, I guess it should be Stomping Ground. No, let's make it Overgrown Tomb. Because if I want to sack the Peatland, I'm going to want Blood Crypt Overgrown Tomb. Alright, we're at 8. We're missing a clock. Still think we're a big dog. That's a good sign. Well, I doubt they're going to name Brutality. They don't know about him. If they do, we're kind of blown out. Please don't be watching the stream.
You think you're gonna be stream sniper?
No. There's a card they should never ever name here. But if they do, we'll know that they are. Because they named Lightning Bolts. Alright, so they're not stream sniping. Alright, another Liliana. I think I'm going to Brutality and then just plus Liliana. So I guess I'll plus first so they discard all that information. It's another Canopy. So now whatever they play, I've got the Edict in play. Unless it's Mantis Rider. Oh hey, a Mantis Rider. Alright, well I'm glad I kept second Liliana over Brutality. Because Liliana will at least get to kill the Mantis. Gonna need to find something like a Goy for an Ooze though. Bloodbraid will be fine if I hit another land. 7 is a pretty precarious life total. Alright, so I had all the removal in the world. Oh, they hit another Mantis Rider? Jeez. Here goes Lily again. Untapped land? Another Bloodbraid. Yikes. Another Mantis Rider? Jeez. Just Mantis Rider into Mantis Rider into Mantis Rider. Alright, well I guess I'm not winning that game ever. Can't even play a Bloodbraid now because I have to pay life off of Peatland. Alright, well triple Mantis Rider off the top is going to be unbeatable pretty much no matter what. What's up, the Cody Hope? Thanks for the raid. Welcome, everybody. We're going to Game 3 versus Humans. We are currently 2-1. Let's go first. New Omnath is absurd. It sounds like a fun one. Ooh, this hand is something. So we can't terminate. But we've got 2 mana removal spell into Liliana, and we've got a threat in Bloodbraid at the top. This hand's really close. I mean, any land lets us Kolaghan's Command. It also probably lets us terminate. I'm leaning towards keep, but no 1-mana plays make me nervous. Yeah, new Omnath seems really, really strong. In a deck that can play it. Which 5-color Elementals probably is the deck to play it in. Alright, the opponent mulliganed. Alright, land go. Alright, so best draw would be a land. Alright, well, we're going to Brutality that. Alright, there's the land. So now the question is, do I want to Terminate or Brutality? I mean, Terminate is instant speed and can kill a wider range of things, so I think I'm just going to use the Brutality here. I don't think I'm escalating. The only thing I could possibly take is, like, Dismember. So assuming no Liliana, so assuming no Meddling Mage naming Liliana, Thalia, or Unsettled Mariner, we're gonna get to Liliana here. Although that said, Liliana is probably best to come down after a potential Mantis Rider. Maybe I just want to use this turn to Kolaghan's Command. I don't like letting the opponent have access to extra mana and Exalted though. It is close. I think next turn I'm Bloodbraiding. Oh, so a bit of a sequencing error then. Had I played Swamp last turn, I could, if I'm choosing to Terminate this turn, play Overgrown Tomb tapped, and then I can Swamp next turn to not pay life to get the Bloodbraid in on turn 4. That said, I'm probably going to take the control deck route anyway. Just make sure everything dies before I play my threats. I think I'm likely to either Kolaghan's Command or Liliana now, and the next turn I can Terminate plus whatever I draw. So the real question is, do I want a Kolaghan's Command or want a Liliana? If I Liliana and they have Mantis Rider, it's unfortunate. I've got the Terminate for the Mantis Rider, but that uses my mana pretty awkwardly. I think I want a Kolaghan's Command. Like, getting Liliana down and having a repeatable resource engine in play seems strong, but I think the downside of having it just die to Mantis Rider is too strong. So I'll do this now as to not give my opponent access to the mana. They discarded a Horizon Canopy. So how often were we able to get the Omnath to use all the modes? Alright, and there's the Mantis Rider. So we're getting rewarded for not just playing Liliana. So if we draw a 2-mana spell, the play might change. We could Terminate and do 2-mana spell, like we draw like Goy for Ooze, but we don't. So I think I'm just going to Liliana, get their Mantis Rider off the board, then play the Overgrown Tomb tapped. And then assuming they don't have just some gigantic assault deployed next turn, I'll start running Bloodbraids back to back. Things I don't want to see are more Mantis Riders, and I guess like Meddling Mage naming Bloodbraid would also be pretty annoying. Vile, perfectly acceptable. And Silent Clearing. Alright, so they're just playing their hand out, so Liliana can't get value. Alright, so funny enough, they can't crack Silent Clearing. Oh, so they actually even sequenced. Oh no, they had 2 of these, so it didn't matter. I was gonna say like they should have not tapped this because they cannot crack a clearing off of an Ancient Ziggurat. Alright, so let's start with Bloodbraid. See what we hit. Ideally a threat or just removal. Alright, well that's worst case. I'll plus and discard Swamp. And then I'm just not going to attack. This is pretty punishing if the opponent draws an evasive threat to haste kill the Liliana like another Mantis Rider. But if they don't, I get to defend the Liliana and have another Edict on board. So just really crossing my fingers that this isn't Mantis Rider here. You can draw all the Aether Vials you want. Lieutenant. So I'm gonna get to block this. So they might just not attack. And if they don't attack, I'm gonna pop off the Terminate and the Edict. I mean, I hope they attack though, because then I get to keep the board empty and I get to Bloodbraid and have Terminate left over. And their hand's empty. Another Liliana, not bad at all. So the nightmare scenario is they sack clearing, draw another one mana spell, then get to put it into play. I mean this minus play is not changing no matter what, so let's just lead there. Like they might sack clearing there and maybe try to hit a 1. But they don't. I'm just gonna keep the board empty. Play the other Liliana. Like I could Bloodbraid here and attack. Issue there is if they draw any human and then can outsize the champion and then have the champion outsize my Bloodbraids and that human insulates versus the edict, and then I'm forced to terminate the champion. Whereas now I could just like have this be gone, hopefully get an attack in, and then we're empty boarded versus Liliana on 1, Bloodbraid, and then Bloodbraid in hand with a backup removal spell. This play just seems a lot better than jamming Bloodbraid into nothing. Cavern, sure. Right in 6, another good one. Alright, well the opponent's got 1 card in hand. Not really a guarantee that we're going to be able to snipe something. And my hand's very good. I do want to have the Edict loaded up though. So I'll discard Ren in 6. It's my only non-threat, non-targeted removal. Alright, let's get to jamming. Alright, hit the Red in 6 anyway. Sick. And I'm going to get Stomping Ground here. I'm going to want more green for if I draw Oozes. And second red also seems like it could have some use if I want to terminate plus cast another red spell. I mean, it's getting to the point of build your own adventure. There's just so little that the opponent could do to crawl back from this huge deficit. Kudro? The General. Alright, well we get to terminate that. We don't even have to terminate it. We can just use the Liliana in play. Which I think I will do. The pluses aren't doing anything from now on, and I get to just keep the terminate in my hand. Again, it's kind of just build your own adventure. We did it. Moving up to 3-1. So for those who have not seen the full deck list yet, we're trying out this Cleansing Wildfire thing. So far it's been fine. We played it against round 1. We played against Red-Green Titan-Shift. It was fine. We never had a scenario where it would have been really good. So I mean it was helpful, but there definitely would have been scenarios where it was really good, but we didn't see any. And then that's really the only major change. And then I made room for them by taking out my Alpine Moons, and I also took out the Clothis. Yeah, I mean Omnath like seems like a pretty absurd card. Like 4 mana, 4/4, draw a card. Okay, I'm interested, and then just 3 really good abilities. I mean you need landfall for him, but that's not really an issue. But yeah, Elementals is a fun matchup. If it rises in the ranks again, I might have to put the Plague Engineers back on the board. I swapped out Plague Engineer for Bitter Blossom, and Bitter Blossom has been insane, so I'm glad I did it. Oh yeah, Happy New Year. This is true. It's at sundown, right, Ian? So I guess it's technically the new year. Alright, so if I get Blood Crypt here, I can have Bolt up next turn and be able to play Raging Ravine. That has me Lava Axing myself, which is definitely painful, but I'm going to do it. Alright, so please don't be playing Burn. I haven't seen Burn in a while. It's mainly Prowess has been the aggro deck of choice. Humans again. Oh no, it's Taxes. Taxes. Alright, well their mana is funky without the Vial, so I'll take the Vial. They also just like don't have a 1 mana play without the Vial. Gonna party like it's 5781? Fair enough. Well, because it is, right? Fatal Push, not bad. Arbiter number 1. Thalia. Alright. Annoying. Alright, well I can't bolt or push that now. Ha ha! That's a good one. I'll pay 2 life to shock to play that. Get that Liliana out of here for... Get that Thalia out of here for basically free. For the low cost of Lava Axing yourself. Vial, sure. You gonna play an Arbiter now? Mm-hmm. Alright, so I could get back Verdant. I can't, however... I have to kill the Arbiter before I want to fetch. And I want to have double blacks to play Liliana, so that means I'm bolting this. Now I can get back Verdant. Play it. Get Swamp. Liliana. Do I even play it? Do I even plus it? My hand is so good. I mean, it's good for an extra instance of removal if I plus it. And the opponent's got good cards in hand. I should probably just be plussing. And it breaks my heart, but I'll discard a Bloodbraid. I think I want the push. I mean, I've got the Liliana in play to deal with this Arbiter. But the flash aspect that the Aether Vial is supplying may make it awkward. There's the other Arbiter. Yep. Untapped land would be great here. What am I talking about? I already have the untapped land. So I get to push this, get back a land. Yeah, I think I just want to push. Keep on plussing the Liliana. Which means I guess I can plus the Liliana first. I mean, if they vial something in, it gets awkward. Yeah, I'll just cast the push first. Sequencing here is awkward, but not the worst. Let's get Forest. Jam. Tarmogoyf. Ooze, also fine. Plus here. Looking pretty good. There goes the path, so they have 1 extra that we don't know about. So yeah, I mean the consideration to blood braiding first would have been what if we hit removal and that kills the Arbiter. So yeah, it's very possible my sequencing there was bad. I mean, we're pretty ahead no matter what. Double Field of Ruin is going to disqualify this Raging Ravine pretty easily. I mean, they have to use a turn to do it. Yep. Something I didn't consider that I probably should have is if I didn't get Forest there and they did decide to Field of Ruin me, I could eat something with Ooze. Just to gain a life. I mean, I get to Ren and 6 back this Ravine anyway. Hopefully they don't have a 2-drop, and looks like they don't. Cool. Maul of the Skyclave. I'll give that one a read in a sec. I think it like auto equips and it gives like +2/+2 in flying or something. Is that right? And first strike. I guess it's a Stoneforge target. In case protection from 2 colors isn't enough. Give it flying and first strike. Vial, sure. Blade Splicer? Skyclave's Apparition. When it enters the battlefield, exile up to 1 target non-token permanent you don't control with converting at cost 4 or less. When it leaves, the exiled card's owner creates an XX blue illusion where X is the converted mana cost of the card. Okay. So that card's just gone forever, right? Yeah, it's just gone forever. It just has it here to remind it like how big the illusion I get is. I'm okay with the trade here. That means I just get a 3/3. And depending how they block, I may just want to start going down on the Ren and 6, targeting their face. I mean, a hit for 4 with Ravine and a hit for 5 with Ravine is 9. So I just need to hit him once with the Ren and 6 for that to culminate to lethal. Yeah, some cool new cards though. Skyclave Apparition and Maul of the Skyclaves. I mean, Skyclave is a really cool way to get rid of any non-land permanent, non-token that costs 4 or less. And that's basically everything in Modern, except for stuff out of Tron. Hey, babe. Do you want to preheat the oven? That's fine.
Do you want me to preheat it for you?
I'm going to be done in about 20 minutes or so.
I didn't really answer your question. Do you want me to heat up the whole pizza for you? Can I have cereal?
Yeah, I can eat cereal or something. I mean, tell me if you're hungry in like an hour. Probably, right? We haven't eaten dinner yet.
I ate so much food for dinner.
All right, they didn't block, so let's just get him lower. They're going good. We're currently 3-1. They're playing 2 new cards. They're playing Maul of the Skyclaves, which is I guess another Stoneforge target, And then this exiles a non-land permanent with converted cost 4 or less, also non-token. And then when this dies or leaves, I make an XX illusion, where the X is the converted mana cost of the thing they exiled. Palace Jailer and Modern. I mean, I guess Skyclave is kind of like Palace Jailer. This is a Skyclave Tribal. Got the Skyclave Aboritioner and the Maul of the Skyclave. Got another one? Flicker Wisp. Alright, so that gets to deal with the Ravine. They kind of have to block this. Sure. But yeah, pinging them last turn means that a ping this turn, it has a ping next turn being lethal. Yeah, minus drawing cards. We'll drew them this card, right? As long as I can't kill it. This is a way worse Palace Jailer. Well, if they hit a land here, they get to prevent Ravine from hitting them, but they can't even get my Renin 6 dead, which means the ping would kill them anyway through it. Alright, so mono white taxes. Bitter Blossom seems fantastic. Fatal Push, just another removal spell. Brutality also seems fine. Lots of their stuff is just 2 toughness or less. Also, we can take things like Path Exile. Alright, so what do we cut? I'm gonna cut Thoughtseizes. They're pretty bad top decks. They hit things like Restoration Angel if the opponent is playing something like that. Another matchup where we get to bring in Bitter Blossom. It's a fun one. Alright, I'm gonna cut 1 Liliana while we're on the draw. Expensive removal can be awkward in the face of a Thalia. Cling to Dust doesn't really seem like it's doing much here. You know, I brought in another Fatal Push. Maybe I don't need 3 Brutalities. I could see cutting another Inquisition on account of bringing in another 1 mana thing to do. But Inquisition is very strong the first few turns. It can break up the Leonin Arbiter shenanigans, but these matchups are going to probably go pretty long, and Inquisition is a terrible draw. I think I'll just cut a Brutality. Don't think I want that much removal. I mean, removal is great. Sounds good. Yeah, I mean, yeah, James, the decks like this are so rare that I've played against this deck a lot, but only because I've been playing this deck for a long time, right? Why not Bitter Blossoms in the main? Honestly, I don't know. Like, Bitter Blossom is very, very good right now. Alright, so I'm gonna... Wow, this is tricky. So, if I Verdant Catacombs first, I can get around Leonin Arbiter. I mean, I can Ravine now, and then if they Leonin Arbiter, I can Bolt and then just have the land anyway. I guess if they don't have Leonin Arbiter, that lets me play Renin 6 on 2, so I guess Ravine is just better first. This is also better if their turn 2 play is Thalia. Yeah, Bitter Blossom can be a liability versus some of the hyper aggro decks. That said, I bring in the Bitter Blossoms versus Blue Red Prowess all the time. They do well. All right, well, Rest in Peace is gonna make my Tarmogoyf and Renin 6 look kind of silly. And then Ghost Quarter means I have to be wary of a Leonin Arbiter. Renin 6 is still gonna be good for killing X1s, which there are a lot of. Another new card. Each player can't cast more than one spell each turn. Non-basic lands your opponent control enter the battlefield tapped. Interesting. Alright, it's a 2/3, so I get to just bolt that. Alright, Liliana into an empty board. I'll discard Goyf, it's not doing much anymore. So in the event they Leon and Arbiter Ghost Quarter me, I don't think I want to get a basic here because I'm going to want my mana to be good even after. So I think I should just complete the trifecta and get Blood Crypt. Pop out some exile piles here. A Ganjo Castle. Prevent the next 2 damage will be dealt to a legendary creature this turn. So we'll not save a Thalia from a Bolt. Bolt does 3. What I took out versus this deck? I took out the 2 Thoughtseizes and a Liliana. The Liliana because they tend to be worse on the draw when the opponent can just throw out so many creatures, and the Edict gives them an option, and it's also a liability if their 2 mana play is Thalia. So I just boarded in cheaper removal. Yeah, I brought in the extra push, and I brought in 2 brutalities. Flickburst? I guess that's going to reset a land. Interesting. So if I Red and 6, kill the Flicker Wisp, I can also just bolt the Giver and then continue playing my lands and then continue plussing the Liliana. So I guess I should just plus Liliana first. And then what do I discard? I want the lands because I may want to be killing the opponent with Raging Ravine. That's my only guaranteed clock right now. So I'm not discarding Red and 6. I'm not discarding, I guess, 1 mana removal. So I guess it's Terminate. There goes their Maul of the Skyclaves. And then I could just wait on killing this, but don't really see a reason to. So between Bolt and Push, I guess Bolt is probably better because it doesn't require Revolt. Darth Maul of the Skyclaves? Yeah, pretty much. Alright, we've got the Planeswalkers in play. Our Glyphs are not good threats though because of the Rest in Peace. We're gonna need Blood Braids and I guess Scavenging Oozes or Grizzly Bears. Scavenger Grounds. Great with Rest in Peace already in play. Alright, so that means we get to activate the Ravine now. I think I do want to put the Liliana up to 6. Although Ultimate doesn't really mean much. I mean, I could just not plus and plan on not ultimating, which seems insane. The opponent has 1 card in hand, though, so I should probably just be plussing, which means I'm discarding Bolt. A little awkward, but I'll do it. Gideon, Ally of Zendikar. That makes me really happy I plus, because if they draw land and then just spike that thing, I don't think I can win anymore. Alright, so we have to get... Kind of doesn't matter, actually. I guess while it doesn't matter, I'll just keep my life total high. Activate. The opponent could draw Field of Ruin or Ghost Quarter to deal with this, which would be annoying, but it is what it is. Mirran Crusader. Alright, well, we get to just kill that with Liliana. Skyclave. Alright, so there goes the Liliana. There's Bloodbraid. Alright, so we could Renin 6 and then just Renin 6 again. That gives us a 3/3 and has us having a Renin 6 in play. Alternatively, we could just Bloodbraid, but they'll just block. We could also Raging Ravine. Kind of close. Like all the plays seem like they're defensible. I think Ravine is the least attractive, so I think I either want to just like double Renin 6 to kill the Skyclave or just Bloodbraid. Killing Skyclave also gives me a 3/3. Alright, I want to keep this one. Give me a 3/3. Giver, that's fine. Alright, so if we activate Ravine, that hits for 6 and 3, that makes 9. Or I could just get the Bloodbraid down. They don't have a profitable block on the Bloodbraid. Let's just jam that. I'll leave up I'll say I'll leave up a green in case I hit Ooze, but they've got Rest in Peace in play, so it actually just doesn't matter. Bitter Blossom, sure. Give them one more thing to worry about. BBE, that's right, James. Ping them, don't think it matters. I mean, a ping here means that either threat is lethal next turn unless they attack my Renin 6, in which case both of my threats are very lethal, so I think a ping here is good. Really hard to lose this. We did it. So we completed the 4-1. Bam. Okay, so let's do my typical wrap-up. So the card being scrutinized this particular league was the brand new card, Cleansing Wildfire. We brought it in only once in the very first match, and it was fine. We didn't run into a scenario where it would have been particularly absurd. Like we played against Red-Green Titan-Shift, so usually you just want to like kill the double mana producing lands or the things like Valakut and Field of the Dead. It was good in that we got to destroy an opposing Castle Garenbrig on as the opponent's 4th land drop, and it was at a time where we were plussing with Liliana and trying to get the opponent to have their hand get shredded. So it was pivotal in that it slowed the opponent down by 1 mana, and that was enough to make sure that the Titan couldn't get cast because Liliana was shredding their hand apart as they were trying to make land drops. So it was very good in that regard. But other than the 1 match's worth of experience, I can't really rate it. It was just fine for now. I mean, it was obviously a redraw. We saw that our Jund Mirror opponent brought Cleansing Wildfire in against us, and it ended up being quite strong for them as it killed the Raging Ravine and then drew them a Raging Ravine of their own. In general, a useful effect that also replaces itself immediately can only be so bad, i.e. Nile Spellbomb. The rest of the sideboard felt pretty good. I did mention in match 1 playing against the Cleansing Wildfire opponent that I kind of wished I had Alpine Moon over the Damping Sphere because Alpine Moon shuts off things like Valakut the Molten Pinnacle and Field of the Dead. And also the Tron lands. Like, Damping Sphere is here for Tron, but it's also here for things like Neoform and Storm. Obviously a Nanbo with the Blood Braids, and it can come up that you really wish you can cast the spell off the Blood Braid while you have a Damping Sphere in play. So the Nanbo is something to consider, and it has definitely come up for me in the past before, where having the Alpine Moon over the Damping Sphere was definitely pivotal. But right now, I think with Cleansing Wildfire fulfilling a similar role to Alpine Moon, maybe this is the split that I want to be doing, at least for now. The brutalities were fine. Bitter Blossom again was absolutely insane. I think it's definitely earned its spot in my no nonsense list, which is this list, plus a test on Cleansing Wildfire. But yeah, Bitter Blossom has been absolutely absurd. If you're looking to play Jund in Modern, I would definitely recommend trying out 1 or 2 copies of these. The more copies, the better, because you really do want to see one early. But Bitter Blossom has been absolutely absurd. We played it against the blue-white control opponent, and was kind of able to just like stick it on turn 2 on the play, and then we were able to be the control deck, and we were just able to keep up all of our instance on our opponent's turn. We didn't have to play into any of their counter magic, and Bitter Blossom just won the game pretty much on its own. The main deck still felt really smooth. I really still like the split of 3 Fatal Push and 3 Lightning Bolt. There are lots of creatures that outsize the Lightning Bolts right now, like Shadows, Tarmogoyfs, and lots of stuff that costs 4 mana out of things like red-green midrange. Fatal Push, I've even sideboarded in the 4th one when we've seen it be good. I have this one as a different artwork on accident, but kind of also on purpose, because when we see this copy of Fatal Push, we know it's the different one, because all of these are Aether Revolt copies. And we've seen exactly this Fatal Push multiple times, and it's been pivotal pretty much every single time I've boarded it in and found it. So I still like the extra removal spell on the sideboard. I still like the split of two Thoughtseize for Inquisition. That's been pretty standard for a long time. 4 Lilianas have been insane. The tracker, we never popped off with it this particular league, but I don't think we even saw it. We saw it once, and it was a game we ended up losing. Versus Blue-White Control, we lost to the combination of Batterskull and Sword of Feast and Famine. And then Bloodbraid's still just the generic best curve topper that Jund can get. I still like the 24 lands configuration. I've gotten flooded every so often, but I've gotten screwed a lot less. I think there was one game this league where we mulliganed to 6 and kept a hand on the draw with 1 land and lots of 1 mana plays, and we just never hit the land. That was actually versus the Jundmere, and we lost that first game, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, I think 24 lands is probably still fine. The synergy with just like discarding extra lands to the Liliana really makes sure that even your bad resources can trade for hopefully something better than itself. Alright, so that's going to be it for this particular Jund video. This has been Jund video number 32. If you're watching currently on Twitch, you can find all of my other 31 videos and some extras uploaded on my YouTube. You can find the link to my YouTube on the bottom of your current screen. You can see all my various social media accounts plugged there. And if you like content like this, be sure to follow me here on Twitch and also subscribe over on YouTube. And then I don't very often post updates to my Twitter, but every once in a while I'll announce if I'm going to be streaming. But generally I just stream around this time anyway. So until next time, have a good one, and Jund them out.